neighborhoods, head over the river, through the woods.
Hello, can you say hi, Garrett? Hi. Welcome to Stories with Garrett. You can see out my window here. It's winter still where we are. It's actually technically spring, but it doesn't look like spring to me. Does it look like spring to you? Huh? No, the trees don't have leaves on them. There's still snow on the ground. But me and Garrett are thinking about spring right now. And so we are going to read a book about when there are leaves on trees, when there are animals and insects alive and not sleeping. The book we're reading today is called When the Woods Hum. When the Woods Hum by Joanne Ryder, and it's illustrated by Catherine Stock. When the woods hum. Papa's path led through the old woods. Do you see Papa? There's Papa. Oh, you're looking at me? Look at Papa. There's Papa. Papa's path led through the old woods. It was a small path, but wide enough for Papa and Jenny to walk under the trees, turning green with the first days of spring. Once when I was young, Papa told Jenny, I heard the woods hum. They hummed? Said Jenny. Said Papa, smiling. They roared. I'd like to hear that, said Jenny. I think you will, said Papa. The hummers are coming. They're coming up at last. And he pointed to a few tiny holes in the dark ground, leading to places Jenny could not see. Are they hiding? Jenny asked. They're waiting, said Papa. And it's almost time. Jenny curled up on the yellow roses on her yellow bed, waiting for Papa to wish her good night. I have something for you, he said, and he brought her a round box, small and old. Inside was an insect with long, glistening wings. What is it? Jenny asked softly. She touched its fat black body, its orange wings shining in the lamplight. A cicada, Papa said, one of the hummers from long ago. After it died, I kept it to remember that time. I've kept it for 17 years. 17 years, Jenny whispered, and she put the old insect in her keeping place. 17 years. How old are you? Are you 4? You're 4. That's a long time till 17. As spring settled in, the woods turned greener. Tiny leaves grew larger and danced in the breeze. In the treetops, hidden birds sang. One evening, warmer than the rest, Papa called, Come quickly, Jenny, the hummers are up. Their flashlights made bright circles on the path through the dark woods. Look at all the holes, Papa, Jenny said. There were thousands of holes under the trees now. Thousands of small wingless creepers were leaving their underground homes, climbing up tree trunks and clinging to branches. Jenny watched a golden creeper swell and crack. It's breaking, she called. It's splitting its old tight skin, said Papa. Out of the golden skin crawled a soft white insect, its crumpled wings unfolding like petals in the dark. Papa's light danced along the branches where other creepers were changing, unfolding their new long leaves. They look like flowers, said Jenny. Above her, the branches seemed filled with soft white flowers opening in the dark night. The next morning, Jenny ran through the woods. Cicadas, no longer pale and soft, were testing their new wings. Here and there, a few dark flyers fluttered from branch to branch. Thousands of tiny gold ghosts, the hard hollows of skins of the creepers, lay on the ground. Jenny picked up a ghost skin, light and empty, and carried it home, cupped in her hands. "The cicadas are quiet," she told Papa. "Won't they hum now?" "A few will start," he said, "but they need time to rest and get strong. They've made a big change, and more of them are coming up, and they'll change too. You'll hear them, all of them. Just wait." One Sunday morning, the woods hummed. The humming grew louder and louder and went on and on. Brrrr, brrrr. "They're here, Papa," Jenny called. They ran together to the woods and stood in the bright spaces between the tall trees. Fat black incense flickered and danced above them, flew past them on shiny orange wings, and the woods hummed with the sound of tiny vibrating drums. "Oh, listen, Jenny," Papa shouted, louder than the brrring drums. "The hummers are back at last." One hummer landed on Jenny's arm and looked at her with ruby red eyes. Two tiny drums on his fat body quivered and trembled. "Brrr! Why are they so noisy, Papa?" Jenny shouted. "Because there are thousands and thousands," said Papa. More and more hummers joined in till the woods roared. "What are they doing?" asked Jenny. "They're calling," said Papa. "The males do the drumming and the females come find them. Then they can mate." By summertime, the woods grew quiet as the cicadas rested. Papa sat on the porch, remembering the last time the woods hummed, the spring he had pitched a no-hitter. "After we won," he told Jenny, "I flew home on my bike with the woods roaring, cheering all around me." "How old were you, Papa?" asked Jenny. "Just 12, he said, smiling. "It's been a long time." Day after day, male cicadas drummed and gathered in the treetops. Female cicadas flew to the trees, and there, on high, sunny branches, they mated. As Jenny watched, a female cicada slit a twig and laid rows of eggs inside it. When spring turned to summer, the woods grew quiet. Here and there along the path, Jenny found a cicada, silent and still. "They're dying," she said to Papa. "They're all dying." "I know," said Papa. "I know. But the new ones will hatch again soon." And one hot day, they watched a young red creeper, small as an ant, run along its twig. It ran off the edge, tumbled down, and crawled inside a crack in the soft, dark earth. "It's gone," said Jenny. "What will it do?" "Grow," said Papa. "It will find a tree root and stay close. It will suck juices from the root and grow." When the days grew chilly, Jenny ran through the woods as the red leaves fell, covering the path, covering the tiny cicadas underground. They would be hidden for a very long time. 17 years, she thought. I wonder what I'll be like in 17 years. Seasons changed and years passed. Jenny grew taller, nearly as tall as Papa. Underground, the little cicadas also grew, sucking the good juices from the tree roots, growing, then splitting their too tight skins so they could grow some more. One summer morning, Jenny walked down the path from the old house to be married in the bright space between the tall trees. And in the spring, she brought her new son to see the old house in the woods. "I named him Raymond after you, Papa," she said. Years passed and the woods changed too. People came and cut trees and built homes. Some of the cicadas had no roots to feed them. Deep underground, they stopped growing and died. But all through the years, Papa walked down his path, watching birds come and go, watching snows fall and melt. Then, one spring, he wrote Jenny a letter. "Come soon if you can, and bring Ray. Your hummers are almost ready." In the woods, a soft breeze tickled the new green leaves over Papa's head, and he turned as he heard two voices calling to him. "We're here! We're here!" "Are they up?" asked Ray. "Is it time?" "Almost," said Papa, and he showed Ray a few tiny holes around the bushes and the trees, leading to dark places they couldn't see. And that evening, when it grew dark, golden creepers dug up to the surface and peeked out of their holes. They climbed up the trees and shed their tight skins. Soft and white, they spread their new wings. "Oh, Mama," said Ray, "they do look like flowers." Brrr. High on a branch, a fat black insect drummed. Up on the hill, Jenny opened her window to hear. Brrr. Ray sat on his bed, holding a round box and touching the old shining one tucked inside. "Brrr! Get up, everybody," called Papa. "The hummers are back." They ran down the hill to the old woods, filled with noise and insects flickering in the trees. Jenny caught one on her sleeve. Oh, I wondered about you," she said softly. "I wondered if you were growing and if I'd ever see you again." And she and Papa took Ray down the small path through the woods that hummed and roared with the sound of cicadas calling at last, calling once more. Grrr. 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 I don't think that's what cicadas actually sound like, but that's a fun noise to make. Grrr. When the woods hum. That was a good book. That was a good book. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy you're reading books with me and Garrett during story time. Please, if you have any questions for me or for Garrett, or if you have a book you'd really like us to read, let us know. Otherwise, subscribe to this channel and we'll see you next week. Bye. Say bye, Garrett. Bye.